I'm sure you're like, Lindsay, where have you been? No podcast lately. I know I've been so busy, and I really shouldn't even say that because honestly, when you're in this business, and we know in 2025 with social media, everything has to be so consistent and honestly, lifed, right? Like, I'm not trying to make excuses. It just is what it is. But we are here because we're doing a little life update. Now, this isn't a normal podcast because normally I have people on from Nashville telling their stories of how they made it. But that also brings us why I am here today giving you a life update. So let's get into it. Like I'm doing a TikTok video, okay? Anyways, let's just cut straight to the chase. Honestly, I didn't even write down like bullet points of what I need to say here. I need to make sure I need to hit this, hit that. I'm just going to talk from the heart and life, like what's happening. So it's nothing bad. I just live in a really amazing condo in Nashville. And as you can see, this is my studio, which we're going to get back to that because anyways, and I love where I live in Nashville. I don't want to live anywhere else. I live on the west side of Nashville, which I live 1 minute from the dog bar. If you know anything about me, I'm a big Frenchie mom. Is my son. That is my son. So don't even. Anyway, so we're a member of the dog park. I live next to the marina. Like I am from Virginia Beach, so I am a water girl by heart. I love being on boats. I love being on the water. I live on the river. It's not the ocean, but it's a body of water and it's in Nashville and it feels like I don't even live in Nashville. And another thing that I love about where I live in Nashville is I am 1 minute from Costco, honey. I don't even have to literally leave my neighborhood and I'm at Costco and I am a Costco girly. Let's not talk about my age, but you get my drift. Okay. So anyways, I don't own the condo I live in. I rent it and I have been here for 3 years. I'm going to say this out loud essentially and publicly. So it's a little like, oh, okay. So it's very real. They are selling the condo I live in, so I have to get out of the condo. Now you're like, okay, well, that's no big deal, right? You could just move anywhere in Nashville. No, I can't because I work in radio and I don't make any money. I shouldn't say that because I don't want to manifest that. I don't make the level of money that I would like to make. That's more truthful, right? That is a fact. So anyways, and also inflation, hashtag, like it's so bad here in Nashville. I mean, if you followed my journey, you know that I've lived here. This is the second time that I've lived here in Nashville and the new Nashville ain't it because it's so expensive. Like literally I'm going to Hawaii for vacation and I was looking up like restaurants and like places I want to go and stuff like that. And the drinks are cheaper in Hawaii than they are in Nashville. Okay, so just let that sink in. I think they did like $92 million of tourist money, so they don't really care about us locals here. So anyway, but they're selling my condo, and I had to make the decision. Do I want to stay in Nashville? And just to give you, obviously, I have a radio show. It's called Life with Lindsay. I moved back to Nashville in 2018. And with the goal of getting Life with Lindsay to air here in Nashville, which almost happened last year. And I won't say which radio station because it's definitely not their fault. They were really awesome. But anyways, that almost happened last year in 2024. And at the very end, it did not happen. It's a long story. If you guys want to, I'll write a book one day of like all the things that happened in the radio career, but it didn't happen. And I thought it was. And so I was devastated at the time because that is really why I came back to Nashville, because I do my show right here in the studio. So I can do it from anywhere. Anyways. And so fast forward to this year. I was actually up for a radio job in another city. Same thing happened to me where I thought I was getting the gig. I had like 5 interviews. Everything went great. I thought I was signing papers and I was leaving Nashville. That was my mindset. So that's why I originally stopped posting new episodes of the podcast, right? Because I'm like, I'm leaving Nashville, whatever. Well, then that didn't happen. So you're like, okay, cool. I'm glad I'm healed. So this doesn't take like a toll on my self-worth. But anyway, so that didn't happen. And then I was like, you know what, universe, I'm just going to stay in Nashville. I'm going to put more effort into my podcast. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, because I have a business that my business is a production company, and it basically presents my radio show and my podcast. So anyways, I'm going to put more effort into the podcast and my business. And then 2 weeks later, my property manager calls and says they're selling the condo and I have to get out. Now, they did actually ask me to buy the condo, but for the price, we're not even talking about that because we're not getting into that. But I said no. So I was like, all right, what am I going to do? Do I want to apply for jobs in other cities? Like, what do I want to do? Do I want to stay in Nashville? I had to ask myself that. And I came to the conclusion. I was stressed like fat. I was stressed to the nines, as anybody would be, because I'm like, where am I going to be? What am I going to do? What is my life happening? I didn't think I was going to leave Nashville until I was going to retire. Okay. So I was going to be here. But I felt like it's time to go. And so I'm leaving Nashville. Not exactly like to another city right now. I'm selling most of my stuff. So holler at your girl. Check my social media pages for things I'm selling if you're interested and you're in the area. But I am going to go travel for 6 weeks, maybe more than that. I'm going to go to Florida because my mom and my brother live down there. And I'm going to do the podcast and I'm going to just talk about life. So the podcast now is called Beyond the Stage of the 615. And so obviously I'm pivoting, so expect a new logo, but it's going to be called Beyond the Stage of Life with Lindsay. You see what I did there? Because the radio show is called Life with Lindsay. I know. So anyways, I'm going to be traveling around and doing the podcast and talking about life. Maybe I'll bring people on. Maybe I won't. All this equipment I have is portable, so I can take it wherever. Now, you're not going to see this really awesome background that took me 3 to 5 months to put up all of this glitter wallpaper, which I love, by the way. But anyway, so it won't be the nice little fancy background of my on-air sign, but that's okay. Like, the background doesn't matter. It's about whatever we're talking about life, right? Because who can't relate to Beyond the Stage of Life? Right? Because I feel like on social media, everything we do in life is on a stage. Essentially, right? And so we're going to pull those curtains back on life and we're going to talk about real shit, which I always do anyway. And if you know me, you already know that. But anyways, I'm going to go on this journey. I don't know where it's going to lead. I don't know what is the outcome. I don't know if maybe I will still continue to look for radio jobs in other markets and other states. I've been in 8 states in 10 years, so that's nothing new to me. I'm a gypsy. It's no big deal. But I am excited to go to the ocean. That revitalizes me. So I am very looking forward to that. And my dog loves the water. And there's dog beaches in Tampa. My little mom heart is just... So I'm excited about that. We get to take my dog on a boat and do all those things, which I love. And that's just going to give me like a refresher. So for the first time in my life, I don't have a plan. Holy shit, let that sink in. And maybe that doesn't mean anything to you, but to me, I am a Virgo. I am a type A. I have a backup plan on a backup plan on a backup plan. And I don't. I've had to learn how to let things go in life, places, people. With things, it doesn't matter. I'm just like, okay, well, I'm going to go travel and do my podcast right now. That's it. I don't know how anything else is going to work. Obviously I'm going to be sending emails and exploring things in that time frame as well. So don't act like I'm just like, I don't know. I don't have a job. I mean, I still have my radio show and the podcast and that brings me money. And so anyways, but I'm just going to go enjoy life. Because, like, how many other times am I ever going to have this opportunity to just be free? I mean, it's kind of freeing. It is freeing. It's not kind of freeing. Let's restate that. So, anyways, I am going to be traveling and doing the podcast. And there's going to be a new podcast, and there's a new twist, Beyond the Stage of Life with Lindsay. New logo coming soon. So keep your eye out. And then I'm going to post a lot of content. Like, I'm going to be a content creator for real, because radio personalities are the first OG influencers and the first content creators. Like, we were doing this before it was cool. Like, we had to. And we have to do 5 days a week, sometimes 6, 7 days a week now. And we have to talk about things that maybe we don't even want to talk about. And we have to repurpose them every single day. So anyways, I've always been a content creator, but I'm really going to focus on really putting it out on social media. So just, keep your eyes peeled. I'm going to be fine. But if you're in Nashville, I don't know. We're going to have a going away party. I don't know exactly what we're going to do, when we're going to do it, but it's probably going to be around water. So there's that. But yeah, keep your eyes posted. And I'm just going to start doing more of these podcasts where it's just me. And I can talk about things that I've learned. I mean, God, honey, I don't know if you're ready for that part infinity podcast. You know what I mean? So yeah, but I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry that I have not been consistent. Like I said, lifed. No excuses. And I'm not going to have any more excuses. So yeah, but that is the life update. Lindsay is leaving Nashville. Can you believe it? I can. My friends like, you can always come back. I've already came back once. This is the second time I've lived here. So I can always move back here whenever I want. But yeah, so that's that. And just stay tuned for more updates. I mean, I'm going to go to Hawaii. I don't know if I'll do a podcast in Hawaii because, like, I want to be on vacay, girl. Like, I'm planning my excursions right now. So anyways, but I will be doing the podcast in Florida. And so, yeah, just come along for the ride. I appreciate y'all.